Hello viewer who was tricked into watching this video. Now you can either blame the algorithm or you can pat yourself on the back for wanting to educate yourself about healthcare conspiracies. My name is Dhruv and welcome to the extension of EZBEAT on the streets. Now I know we're not exactly on the streets, but we're on a tight budget and we had to do the best that we can. Earlier when we were actually on the street, we asked a bunch of millennials what they think are the biggest, craziest healthcare conspiracies that they can think of. And this is what they had to say.
We learned about one that says that if I have 10 or more cans of Diet Coke in a day, it could lead to me getting cancer. So yeah, I feel that I'm bought into this. I want to reduce my Diet Coke consumption, yes.
No, I'm pro-science. I don't believe in any healthcare conspiracies.
None?
None, zero.
Okay, then.
Actually, no, I don't like to take a cold shower and then go outside when it's hot. Because, if you have extremes in temperature, you fall sick.
That we don't have a cure for every disease in the world, that we actually do.
Okay, so you might be wondering why we were stupid enough to do this in the first place. Well, the reason for that is that we were also stupid enough to build a co-pilot in the preventive health space. So what we are doing through this home studio, which is basically just a green screen and a stool that I borrowed from my parents, we are doing our part to make sure that we can get you to be as aware about healthcare as possible. No, seriously, we don't have the budget to come up with these ideas on our own. So we really need your help. Keep the ideas coming. Okay, let's begin with the first conspiracy of the day. If I drink 10 or more diet sodas, I could get cancer. Now, diet sodas have been around since the early 1980s. They contain artificial sweeteners such as saccharin, sucralose, and especially aspartame. For decades now, there have been concerns and quite frankly, a lot of myths concerning these sweeteners and the link to cancer. So, what does the science actually say? Now, in July 2023, two major health organizations, the IARC and the WHO, alongside the FAO and the JECFA, released their assessment on aspartame. Now, the assessment said, did you know that more people are bitten by New Yorkers than actual sharks? I mean, oh shit. It's random facts guy again. Yeah, the same guy who comes to every party and then just talks about random facts without any context. Watch this. It's important that random facts guy understands the full context behind these facts so that he can tell his friends what they actually need to know with the proper context. Watch how this goes. Hey, random facts guy. Who? Me? Yeah, you. Now I'm going to tell you something about diet sodas. And I need you to hear me out completely before you go tell your friends. Can you do that for me? Okay. So a report recently claimed that diet sodas are possibly carcinogenic to humans. Did you know that diet sodas could possibly cause cancer? No, hold up. Hear the full story. Now, this does sound very alarming, but it's very important to understand what possibly carcinogenic to humans really means. It is the third highest level out of 4, and it is usually assigned when there is limited but not convincing evidence of cancer in humans, or there is convincing evidence in experimental animals, but not both. Think of it this way. Aspartame is in the same category as the exhaust from automobiles and is also the same category as aloe vera. Yeah, I know. This is a reflection of the strength of the scientific evidence and not the risk of developing cancer at a given exposure level. On the other hand, the JECFA determined that the acceptable daily intake for aspartame is 40 milligrams per kilogram of body weight. So that means that if you weigh somewhat around 70 kilograms, your acceptable daily intake would be between 9 to 14 cans per day. And don't get too excited just yet, because all that this study provides is that there is inconclusive evidence between the risk of cancer and consumption of aspartame. That being said, diet soda itself has a lot of other harmful effects on the body. Artificial sweeteners are known to be 100 times sweeter than sugar. Now, this may actually increase your cravings for high-calorie food. So if you do end up indulging in the high-calorie food and are officially classified as obese, Now that will increase your risk of more than 10 types of cancers. So be careful and be mindful before you have the next sip of your diet soda. Another harmful effect that diet sodas could have on your body is insulin confusion. Now when the body consumes something sweet, it automatically triggers a response to produce insulin to process that sugar. One study found that individuals who were consuming sucralose, another important ingredient found in diet sodas, found or experienced an increase in insulin levels as well as blood glucose levels. Now, these frequent spikes in insulin are linked to insulin resistance, which can ultimately increase your risk of type 2 diabetes. Now, phosphoric acid is another ingredient found in diet sodas, especially dark-colored diet sodas. Phosphoric acid ultimately damages your bone tissue, which can increase the risk of osteoporosis, and it will damage your tooth enamel. So that concludes part 1 of our healthcare conspiracies. If you have 10 or more cans of diet soda a day, it is inconclusive whether you are increasing your risk of cancer or not. The evidence just doesn't support it. But if you are having 10 cans of Diet Coke per day, you're increasing your risk of obesity, insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, osteoporosis, and you can risk being toothless. So the next time you pick up that diet drink, make sure you ask yourself that question. Is this really a diet-friendly option?